Are you ready to lock in? Because today is September 1st, and unless you have been living up under a rock, aka not on social media, then you may have missed the announcement, girl. All the girlies are doing the great lock-in for the remainder of 2025, September through December. And we're gonna talk about it because if there's one thing that I do know, it's how to create a system and how to accomplish your goals. All right, so I'm gonna keep it real with you. Half of us don't even know what the great lock-in is for 2025. Admittedly, I wanted to make sure that I did my research so that I wouldn't get on here and just be chit-chatting for no reason. The great lock-in, also referred to some people as the winter arc of 2025, is really the last 4 months of the year where you get really intentional about the things that you want to accomplish, and you eliminate and remove any and all distractions. I'm gonna keep it real with you though. If your 2025 has been anything like mine, aka ghetto, I completely understand if the only thing that you've been trying to do is bide your time until we make it to 2026. I decided last week that I was not going to let this year define, nor was I going to let it defeat me. And I think that's very important for all of us, because if we're still here, if we're still breathing, if we're still living, aka you are still watching this video, that means there's still more for you to do and there's more for you to accomplish. All you need to do is get focused and lock in. So before we sit down and have this talk, and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm mapping out my calendar over the next 120 days, I'm gonna go take my walk because that's what I have committed to doing for myself. And y'all come along with me so we can keep this conversation going. I'm outside getting my 1 mile walk in for the day because it helps with keeping my sanity and also keeping my stress manageable. And this brings me to rule number 1 of the great lock-in. Instead of trying to focus on 10 different things and trying to get all of these things accomplished, focus on no more than 3. Maximum. You get to decide if you're going to choose based on categories. You can choose 3 things that align with your ultimate goals. For me, instead of trying to be a force on every single platform and spreading myself thin, I've just decided that I'm gonna lock in on 2 platforms, with YouTube being my primary platform. Not 10, just 2. Because here's what happens when you try to do everything. You end up doing nothing well. And then you end up scattered, you're all over the place trying to figure out how you're gonna juggle all of the things and get everything done. And by November, you're burnt out with nothing left to give, and you're right back where you started. When you choose 3 things and commit to them completely, that's when you're gonna start seeing your transformation over the next 100 days or so. Now let me show you how I'm planning out my next 120 days, because this is where most people mess up. They get hyped about the idea, but they don't actually sit down and get strategic. I'm about to show you how I do it right now. So I'm using a desktop calendar. Now, any calendar will do. I do highly recommend that you use pen to paper. I love this big desktop calendar. I got it at Office Depot on a random day. Now, before I even touch this calendar and map everything out, I like to grab a notepad. Whether it's a notepad or a notebook, it doesn't matter. Just a piece of paper that allows you to write out all of your thoughts. And I like to break down my days by theme days. Because I no longer have a traditional business and this is going to be me literally betting on myself, my days are going to look more like content creation ideation days. I'm always trying to map out what I need to do every single day in advance so that I have a good routine to my week and I know exactly how the week should go. And if I'm doing everything that I mapped out, I should have accomplished my goal by the end of the week, whether that's getting up 1 YouTube videos, 3 YouTube videos, or whether that's writing several Substack articles. Theme days ensure that you're not working against yourself. This allows you to feel less scattered and all over the place, bouncing from task to task, and instead you are grouping tasks together so that you can keep the momentum going and feel like you're getting things accomplished much faster. For example, on Mondays, I am focused on creation and ideation. Tuesdays, I may focus more so on posting and as well as editing and refining my vlogs, my articles. And then I have also incorporated days that I am filming so that I'm not running around like a chicken with my head cut off every single day. trying to ensure that all of the moving parts are actually moving. This allows me to streamline my process and actually get things accomplished. Another thing that I like to do on the desk calendar is I like to map out what my goal of the week is. That way each day has intention. The key is reverse engineering. If I want to post 3 times a week consistently, I need creation time, I need editing time, and engagement time. So I build my week around making sure that that happens seamlessly. Now let's talk morning routines, because everything in life should reflect your intended goals. I like to keep my mornings as simple as possible without all of the added pressure of feeling like I have to go through a rundown list of things. But I do know that a solid morning routine takes about 3 hours. Let me break the math down for you. A solid morning routine honestly isn't that hard. You simply need to reverse engineer. So say you need to be at work at 8 a.m., right? Whether that's leaving your house, whether that's being logged in, then you need to reverse engineer that 3 hours back. You need to wake up at 5 a.m. to get a solid morning routine in. And then you need to reverse it 8 hours before then to get a solid sleep schedule going. You see where I'm going with this? That's reverse engineering at its finest. Start with what you need to be on and then work your way backwards. It's really much more simpler than what we make it out to be. And the thing that gets me is that most people try to build their self-care around their responsibilities, when really the most successful people build their responsibilities around their self-care. Let's go back to the house. I want to share a few tools and resources with you that are going to help keep me locked in throughout the next 120 days, and I know that it's going to help you too. The first thing that I like to use is what I call the Opal app. Now, you can specify which apps you should not have access to when you know that you need to be focusing. What I really love about the Opal app, especially at night, is that there is a particular setting that you can make where it will not let you into your apps whatsoever, no matter what you do. I started using it at night and my quality of sleep increased significantly, almost instantly. I also like to use the Opal app for what I like to call sprints of work. So sprints of work is essentially time blocking, right? So with the Opal app, I can set on the app, hey, block me out of all of my distracting apps for 20 minutes. I'm even doing that for this YouTube video right now where I'm telling it to block me out for 20 minutes of time. The cool thing is that when you go in and you try to unblock yourself, it will make you do a breathing exercise and think about it to really decide and determine, do I really need access to this app right now or access to this thing? And that a lot of times has been a deterrence to me so that I can get back focused and back on my work and just wait out the time, get done what I need to get done. So if you have never experienced the Opal app before, I'm going to drop my code down into the description. You can get 30 days free on the Opal app. And if you like it from that point on, then of course you can sign up and subscribe and do your thing with it. So that is my number one tool when it comes to locking in for the next 120 days. The other resources that I would suggest to you guys, I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say, get these 2 books right here. 12-Week Year as well as Atomic Habits. And although yes, these are amazing, amazing books, and I do believe that everybody should have them within their library, I wanted to suggest some actual books to you guys that I think will be truly helpful during the next 120 days. Number 1 is going to be Principles by Ray Dalio. I think that's how you pronounce it. Principles is just one of those books that every single person should have and every single person should read and understand and know. Like for instance, have clear goals. This is just an example of kind of like what's in the book, but it breaks down like not confusing your goals with your desire and things like that within the book. And it helps you truly understand what are your principles in life. What are the things that ground you and keep you firm and steadfast? And I definitely recommend, instead of getting Atomic Habits, get Principles. The other book that I would recommend to you guys, instead of getting the 12-Week Year, maybe check out Be Your Future Self Now. This is by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. I love this book because it talks about the science of your future self. So it is science-backed. It talks about how to connect and how to create with your future self, how to expand beyond what you currently imagine, the 7 biggest threats to your future self, and the 7 most powerful truths about your future self, as well as 7 specific steps. to follow. Dr. Benjamin Hardy, I've read almost all of his books with Dan Sullivan. I stand behind Be Your Future Self. So if you don't have that book, definitely go and check it out. Now, if you're looking to create a better morning routine for yourself, the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma is a really great read. I think everybody that struggles with waking up in the morning, struggles with creating consistent and solid routines for themselves, any of that, this should be a book in your arsenal. And then one that is not like a guru book or self-help book or anything like that, but it is always my favorite book to refer back to when I'm dealing with doubt, fear, inconsistency, struggling to commit, all of the things. I love to refer back to Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yes. Now listen, like I said, it's not a self-help, self-improvement guru type of book, but when you read this book, and y'all know how Shonda writes, right? It's like you're able to immerse yourself in the book as if it's you yourself, and you're realizing there's a lot of things in life that you said no to that you probably could have said yes to, that you wanted to say yes to, but you didn't allow yourself that freedom and that time to explore it and figure out who you are. Which brings me to my last recommendation, which is actually going to be The Artist's Way. Now, this book is something that I recently picked up. I talk about it in several of my blogs as I'm on this journey. And I will tell you guys, the stream of conscious writing, the dates that you take on yourself, the assignments within the course. Listen, get this book if you are looking to transform your life within the next 120 days. Now, this is a 12-week course. So just imagine if you ordered this book this week and you started next week. You can do this 12 weeks from now through December and have the last 2 weeks of December off to just rest, reflect, and get ready for the new year. Highly recommend The Artist's Way. It has been incredible for me thus far. It's allowed me to just reignite with myself, my inner creativity, and understand that God is the creator. And because he's the creator, I am creative. And so I love this book, recommend it hands down. So those would be my top tools and resources if you're a book lover like me, or if you like apps and things like that like me as well. Definitely check out the Opal app and definitely check out these books. Like I said, I'll link them all for you below in the description. Now, before you go buy every single one of these books, disclaimer, I am not telling you to go and buy 4 and 5 books right now. That is unrealistic to dive in and grab that many books unless that's already the way that you read things. Instead, do it one by one. Pick the one that is most relevant to you right now. Read that one, implement that one, and then move on to another book. That is how you're going to start seeing the transformation that you look for. If you go and buy 4 and 5 books right now, this second, you're going to instantly feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel like this is unattainable. You may get halfway through one, possibly even be bored with reading it because it isn't juicy or salacious or anything like that. And then you're going to stop the momentum. And the key here over the next 120 days is to not stop your momentum. Do not stop your growth. You have to find ways to make this journey not necessarily easy for you, but you do have to find ways to make this journey an immediate yes. You have to eliminate the no's as much as you possibly can. Put your head down, get laser focused, and do the work that's in front of you. Listen, the Great Lock-In is not about perfection. It's about progression. It's about showing up consistently for the next 120 days and trusting the process. Choose your 3 things, plan them out, create systems that support them, and then execute relentlessly. All right, sis, your future self is dependent upon you. The Great Lock-In starts right now today, September 1st. Doesn't matter what time you're watching this. If you have to start on September 2nd, so be it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Drop a comment and let me know what your 3 things are going to be. And if this video was helpful to you, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you can see more content like this. And I'll see you in the next one. Let's lock in together.